speech by Robin Miles. This is my audience. Today, thank you. Do you believe the saying, children are our future? Or how about today's children are the leaders of tomorrow? Would you do something that would change the life of a child forever? You have that opportunity to do just that by becoming a foster parent. I'd like to introduce to you my daughter, Sierra, who I adopted through the Foster Parent Association. And today, she's going to help me give my speech. Last year in the state of Florida, there are over 220,534 calls made to the Child Abuse Hotline. 76% of the perpetrators were parents. Of those calls received, over 210 children died from child abuse or neglect. Of those children, the highest rate of mortality was children under 5. Child abuse costs the state of Florida $103.8 billion each year. Child abuse adversely affects the community, the justice system, the education system, the healthcare system, and the workplace. It also devastates families. But most importantly, child abuse devastates children and impacts them. Children who are abused are more likely to suffer from depression. When a child is abused, they will often victimize their own children. Children who are abused also have an increased risk of becoming pregnant, violent, drug abusers, and they have a higher risk of having mental health issues. The question you're asking yourself right now, I hope, is how can I make a difference in the life of a child? One of the things you can do is become a foster parent. Some of you say I'm single and I can't be a foster parent. Yes, you can. The qualification for being a foster parent is that you have to be in the same marital status for the past 12 months. It can be single, married, divorced, or widowed. After you've met this basic qualification, ask yourself, can I pass a home health inspection? Can I pass a background check? Do I have a steady job? After you've answered yes to all these questions, you're ready to start the paperwork. The process is pretty simple. Once you've completed your paperwork, you sign up for MAP classes. MAP classes provides you with the information you're going to need about what it takes to be a foster parent, how you can help the children in your home, what type of children you'll get, what resources are out there to help you. These classes are offered on various days and times. They take approximately 10 weeks to complete, and they're 3 hours, a 3-hour session just once a week. Once you go to class, you will be scheduled for a home interview. Once the classes are completed, your home health inspection is done, your background check cleared, and your home study approved, you're ready to get kids. You say, but I work. What am I going to do with my kids during the day? That's a good question. If you work, they will provide you with paid daycare for the children in your care. They also provide you with expenses for room and board for each child that's in your home. If the children in your home are under 5 years old, they qualify for WIC. All medical expenses are covered and provided. And if the children in your home require therapy, they also provide the therapy and they cover their expenses for this. They also provide transportation to their visits, their doctor visits, their home visits, or their therapy sessions. There are support groups for foster parents in almost all counties. If you're not convinced that you should be a foster parent, let me share some startling statistics about the state of Florida. In 2010, there were 14,536 children who entered the foster care system. At the end of the fiscal year, which was September 30th, there were still 18,873 children in foster care. The last time I heard the statistics for the Duval County, there were approximately 3,000 children in foster care and only 300 foster homes. You do the math. That means there's 10 children per home. The state of Florida will not give one home 10 children. So many of these children end up in group homes. I want to tell you now about my personal experience with foster care. I never thought that I would be a foster parent until I checked into becoming to adoption. When I checked into adoption, I found out about foster parenting. My husband and I ended up being foster parents for 7 years. During the 7 years we were foster parents, we had over 15 children in our home. 2 sets of children that came into our home stayed for over 18 months. Most of the children entered our home only stayed 2-3 months, and then they either went back to their home or they went to relatives. One set of children who stayed in our home, after returning home, received 3 more reports of child abuse. Sierra came to stay with us when she was 2 years old, and her brother's parental rights were terminated 2 years later. When she came up for adoption, we couldn't imagine not taking her into our home, so we jumped at the opportunity to adopt her, and she was a great addition to our family. Who couldn't help but love this face? We had 2 other children in our home that also went for adoption, and some friends of ours adopted them. These children end up moving down south, and when they're in town, they often visit us and spend the weekend with us. You'll have a great relationship with most of your children and most of your children's parents. They are appreciative to what you're doing for their children, and many of them continue a relationship with you even after they go home. You can make a difference in a child's life. You can make a difference in their future. Won't you become a foster parent today and change a child's life forever? Sierra's going to tell you how to get started.
Call 1-800-981-KIDS or www.dcf.state.fl.us. Won't you become a foster parent and maybe get a child like me?
Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.